So, I kind of just got in. It's been a long day, and I'm delighted to say that I've there's a bonus in the works. I'm doing a favour for someone, and like each time I do them a favour, like I've asked them, you know, rather than to pay me at the moment, I've asked them to like put a number on like their gratitude and put that number away. And then when that number gets to a certain point, we're going to go like guitar shopping or something. So there's a little bonus in the works. And yeah, like, and that's on top of like my normal budgeting for like studio gear and stuff. This is entirely removed from like normal expenses. And who knows, you know, depends how long he needs favours doing for. But this is something that I might leave going for ages. Do you get me? Anyway. So how are you all doing? Last time we talked about pedal stacking and tube screamers, and you know, really this is a limited hangout this time, but I've been catching up with, because I've got like Wi-Fi all the time, I've been catching up with a lot of like YouTube that I've been missing. It's been nice to sort of watch Mad Malco's channel and Music is Fun, and an awful lot of others. Not Rhett Shull. It's funny, I was saying to someone the other day, like, you know, I can't stand Rhett Shull. Like, you know, it's so derivative and blah blah blah, and he's so like, you know, come to the, you know, he's come by night, overnight, and it's like, and he's supreme authority and blah blah blah. And there's just something about him that rubs me up the wrong way. But who cares? I don't like him, right? But his channel's really good. And I said to Chris, like, yeah, do you know, if you want to learn a little bit about your orange amp, like, you know, go and check out Rhett Shull's What is the Orange Sound video, because it's the best video on like the orange. You know, the whole concept of having an orange amp is really best expressed in Rhett Shull's video. So although I cannot stand him, I would recommend that video to anyone who's got an interest in orange amps, and he's done a few videos like that. But yeah, I see he's got a signature amp today, and I just wanted to kick a hole in it, like, you know. Anyway, of all the people to have a signature amp, it's like, what has he contributed exactly to like the world of original fucking sound and songwriting? I mean, he's a very good librarian of tone, but like, anyway, like, I'm not gonna fucking slag him off, although I just did. You know, I like channels like fucking Music is Fun and people like that, where it's like them and their opinions, and that those opinions can't be bought. And it's like, now I have a bit of sympathy. Now, like, hear me out on this, right? So let's say I've got this in my hand, so we'll use this as an example, right? I bought this completely objectively because I know I went on about, oh, I'm either going to get one of these or a Starcaster. And I'd have really liked a Starcaster in Candy Apple Red, or a black one or a white one. I tell you, they are cool as fuck. And being bolt-on, I actually might have preferred that, because later down the line, if I got like a sort of like a more respectable like 335 style guitar, like, or a 335 itself, it's like the Starcaster being bolt-on and a bit different will always have a place. And I, you know, whereas I don't know, will this have a place if I had like Dennis Greaves's fucking you know, 335 here? Would I fucking, that I used to work on and play a lot, would I ever pick this up? That's a tough question, you know. I'm not sure that I would. You know, and that's the thing, because this is like a 335 studio, really, in many ways. But anyway, all that regardless, this is my hollow body and I love it. But like, I bought this objectively because on the day I was out to buy a Gretsch, and Gretsch do something to me, like just looking at them and holding a big Gretsch in a beautiful fucking metallic colour, you know, with all the scratch plate and all the knobs and the V-shaped tailpiece and everything. Like, even like a 420 quid Gretsch made me feel like king of the fucking world, you know. But the fact was, in the shop on the day, all the hollow bodies, and you can, my mate Chris, the snail driver, Chris B, down in the comments he might be, but you can ask him yourself, right? Like, there's no fucking doubt this was the best guitar out of the bunch. and by a long fucking way on the day. Now, I'm not saying that Ibanez is flat out better than Gretsch. What I'm saying is on the day this one was. And it could be that I go into the shop like in 2 months and I pick up the Ibanezes and I pick up the Gretches, and one of the Gretches is by far the best one of the day. So I don't want to get too definitive on this, but it does show you that, like, now, had I have ordered that, you know, say when we're in lockdown and you can't go to a guitar store, so this is a grim like thing to think about. If I was in lockdown, well, I would have ordered that off of a picture online and reviews. I would have got a Gretsch. But I didn't order it online. I went to the shop and I played them and I plugged them in and I bought this. I would never have bought this based on the look compared, you know, like never. If not if it was an online choice. I wouldn't have done it. No way. No way. I'd have got a Gretsch. Because I wanted a Gretsch. I wanted that feeling of, look at me, I'm Elvis, I'm fucking Neil Young, I'm fucking king of the fucking hill, look at me, Gretsch. You know, I come from a time before there were like such things as cheap Gretches really that were any good, and like you know, being able to, you know, like the Streamliner, you know, 2255, those, you know, those sorts of things. You know, a 350 quid really good hollow body Gretsch, and you can get them in the different sizes, and you know, I could get the sort of one that's the same shape as the the original White Penguin double cutaway, and it was like, oh come on, I would have got a Gretsch, because I come from a time before like Gretsch were 10 a penny. Like back when I started playing, Gretsch were like a mythical thing. You didn't hardly see them. There were no cheap Gretches. You know, they were all like American, and they were all old, and they've had a resurgence. Fender bought them, right, along with Guild and fucking D'Angelico, load of those companies, right? Load of the jazz boxes. Fender bought a load of them. They bought Jackson, Charvel. You know, it's like so many under the umbrella of Fender Corp. Like, but anyway, yeah, like I come from a time before that was a thing. So for me, it's still like they have a fucking sheen of amazingness. Like I can't help but when I go in a store just sort of gaze at the Gretches, like just lovingly. There's no way I wouldn't have got one. It was purely based on performance, like 100%. 100%. I think the Gretches that were there, when I went and I bought the Jazzmaster, right, I tried a couple of Gretches out and they were both magnificent. Neither of those two guitars were there on the day that I bought this. Now I'm wondering if they were, that I might have ended up coming home with a Gretsch, right? And you ask yourself, why did you get the Jazzmaster and not a Gretsch? Well, again, like this was the best sounding guitar on the day, and this is a very special guitar. I'm going to have to do a video on this. I mean, look, low profile heel, you know, like baked bloody maple. Not that I think that means anything apart from it makes it look old, but it's a fucking really nice neck. Everything is just built to a really high standard. Like there's not a micron out of place. It's so solid and well put together. Like it's got a fulcrum trem, so it's a floating trem, right? This is so stable. This is the most stable guitar in the fucking house. Every time I pick this up, it's in tune. And it's a delightful mix of like old and new. So it's active pickups. It's like, you know, this weird sunset metallic. I don't know what you think of that. I like it. You know, it's grown on me. I like it because from the edge, this is candy apple red, right? But then it's like gold, like not Aztec gold. It's one of those gold, not shoreline gold, but it's one of those golds. I can't remember which one. But yeah, look, you know, it's active heavy metal. I've got to put some proper knobs on there. I'm going to get rid of them. There's these knobs that are like the metal knurled knobs, like the ones on my traditional telly, that are black with a little red dot, which would be cool because I like to know where I am, because I quite often go half volume. So that's what it looks like. You see the volume's upside down, and that's on half, and that makes it sound like the ceramics in the Telly Deluxe, the Squier Telly Deluxe. And when I do that, it's like full saturation. So yeah, but everything, you know, the alignments of everything's spot on. Everything's really nice. It feels like Fendery, really. And then it's just, you know, the amount of like detail. So it's like, yeah, mixed of old and new. So they've given it the big headstock. It's got the same split top tuners, nice. You know, it's got a bloody Graph Tech nut, you know. it's it, you know, like they put a massive block on it, right? It's got a massive, you know, steel block on it. You know, that's something they didn't have to do that. You know, they could have easily got away with putting a shimmy block on it like the Yamaha or shit. You know, and it's like no one would have yay or nayed this guitar based on that. So that's why I bought this. It was just such a tight machine. I just enjoy play. As soon as I picked it up, I was flying. You know, and so yeah, like I played a lot. The day that I bought this, I played a lot of different stuff, and I had to I had to let logic prevail. And it was like, well, active pickups were on the hit list. I actually wanted to get something with active pickups. It wasn't a huge priority, but I wanted to, and I really like this. And apart from changing the knobs, which is kind of for a functional reason, I just think they look a little bit out of place, but I don't want to just put plain black ones on, which would look better. I want to put like they're going to have a mark on them or something. I've seen these ones with, like I say, a little red dot, like a little red jewel dot, and they look perfect, and that will go nice and dink dink, and that'd be so classy. But like, there's not a thing I want to change on this. It's just so good. So yeah. Anyway, like fucking. So I reckon if either of those two Gretches that were there when I played that were there on the day that I bought this, I might have ended up with a Gretsch. But anyway, like, so let's say that I bought this and I own it and I love it, and then Ibanez said, hey Tim, we know you've like got like a few hundred subscribers, like if we send you like a couple of Tube Screamers and like a fucking you know, a cheap guitar like a Geo guitar, you know, do you fancy like reviewing them, and could you send us the review first, so can we like sign off on the review? So like, you know, maybe you do 2 or 3 and it takes like 2 or 3 for them to be happy with one that you do, right? And that's the one that you upload. Would that be honest? Would that be fair? Now you understand, right? I'd be a skint musician. I am a skint musician. And it's like, well, you know, I love Ibanez Tube Screamers, and I you know, really speak well of Geos. You can't really go wrong. They're so consistent. Like, I wouldn't, you know, say you should always go and play something before you buy it and all that, and you should go and pick the best one. But, you know, Geos, I've never played a bad one. Have you ever played a bad Ibanez Geo that was objectively bad? Because I honestly haven't. You know, they're just incredibly good. They're just, you know, everything that comes with that Ibanez on the headstock is fucking brilliant. You know, it's always like top of its class. You know. Without, you know, they do things at the same price as like US Gibsons, but they don't, you know, you get so much. It's like, you know, buying a Lexus instead of a Merc or something like that, or a Toyota instead of a Merc. But like, you know, Merc's being a lot of Toyota, but anyway, which people don't realise. But would that be wrong, and would I lose my authenticity? Because that's the question. Because, like, you know, there are other YouTubers like me that are doing stuff like that. And it's like, it's so tough. The thing is, I'd have to refuse, because it's like, I have to do it with my own money. I have to be completely honest. And I can't, unfortunately, really. I don't think I can, anyway. Because the thing is, it's like, when you're a musician, especially if you're like me and you go through stuff, and I mean, I plan to play live. I plan to be performing my own music live. Any kind of industry support, you know, you grab it, right? Why wouldn't you? Strings, fucking Tube Screamers, I mean, come on. Whatever. So it's a strange one. I have a lot of fucking sympathy and time and empathy for other YouTubers that like do take things. I mean, like, what if Behringer said it right now, rang me up right now and said, Tim, I tell you what, we'll give you like a few of everything that we have, like, and it would be really useful, wouldn't it? You know, but as long as, and again, same deal as what I said before, all they ask is that I do a review, like fucking the ones that I do, but they get the veto. Like, they sign off on it before it gets uploaded, right? So if you say something they don't like, it doesn't get uploaded, right? Do you get me? So it would still have the air of authenticity, because it would be one of my videos, right? And I wouldn't have said anything that anybody put in my mouth. No, they would not tell me to say anything. Are you following, right? But they do get the say of, yeah, no, you don't want that one. Can you do another one? And you keep going until they do one that they will upload, but it's still you. Now there are a lot of fucking YouTubers doing that. There are a lot, right? And it's not sponsorship. They don't have to say that it's sponsored. Like, you know, people say, oh, I've got to declare that it's sponsored and that, and a lot of people do. But you don't have to declare that it's sponsored. Like, there are always arrangements that can be made, right? And loads of YouTubers are doing that. And it's like fucking, you know. So I just want you to understand that like fucking, for one, it doesn't write them off as being honest, because it is an honest review. It's just like it might have taken 3 honest reviews for like Ibanez to say, oh yeah, we'll let you do that. Incidentally, that's not where all my new guitar. It's not. I'm suddenly not sponsored by Squire or anything. I know it could look like that. I mean, can you imagine me buying? Mind you, like there's video evidence of me saying, "Oh, I want to get a red Squire strap." And I ended up getting the Raptor. Like fucking. But no, I'm not in league with any other. I'm not. I'm a maggot. Like no one's gonna want to do anything with me. If a small company did, that would be cool. I think I could handle that. So if it was like a really small cottage industry and they wanted to get involved, you know, like back in the day when it was Scorpio guitars with Ben Crow, who's now Crimson, you know, like back in those days when, you know, we had good vibes, Ben. Like, you know, maybe that'd be good. So yeah, like, I mean, I think I could happily engage with the cottage industry and it'd be completely open. Like, we talk, you know, you talk about it. Yeah, so, but what I mean is don't write people off because you think they might be involved with the company, because it might not be as like nefarious as it looks. Musicians have got to make a living. Obsessed ones that are sort of like me and a few of you, it's going to be hard to sort of maintain our addiction, although we do. Anyway, so like I'm waffling, but it's just I wanted to just sort of sit and have a chat and catch up. It's like I've had a strange long day. And yeah, I've really enjoyed catching Music is Fun's videos. The last video I did that was about the stacking of driving the tube screamer, I must do a follow-up on that. I was delighted that Zippy got something out of it, like, you know, it's important. Now, I'm going to tell you something, right? It's something I've had in mind for a while. I was going to sort of get either something like cheap that I picked up and give it away or something like that. But what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to get going on about my tube screamer so much. Are there any of my loyal viewers there that don't have a tube screamer, that want one? Because I'm going to probably buy... Oh, let me tell you first that the tube screamer that's going on my live pedal board is going to be the Behringer tube screamer, the TS800 fucking vintage tube drive or whatever it's called. So the green Behringer one that's like 20 quid. Well, I'm going to get like 2 or 3 of them next time I get paid. And I'm not a rich man. I'm going to get 2 or 3 of them for you guys. So tell me in the comments, like, do you want a tube screamer? Would you like a tube screamer from the Blacktooth Fox channel? Oh, I look terrible underlit. I'm going to have to end that. You know, would you like a tube screamer from the Blacktooth Fox channel? And because I'm happy to sort of get a couple and give them away, and if you don't get on with it, you can just pass it to someone else that will get use out of it. But yeah, I'd be happy to do that for you, because I love the tube screamer. And I think if you don't know what a tube screamer is, if you've never had the chance to sort of live with one, or you've only had a quick go on one, you know, interesting, because I'm going to go on, I've done lots of videos about tube screamers and how I use tube screamer type pedals. And I'd be happy for you to join in on that. Mr. White, yeah, if you've got the Valvetronics VT Plus 40, not VTX 40, if it's the same as mine, but it's a 40 watt, mine's a 20 watt, yeah, the tube drive on that, on the little pedal section, I can't remember it now, it's in my mind, but it's the one that's, I think it's got the acoustic simulator and the treble boost, you know, and because you've got like it's one of the effects knobs, and it's got a few drives on it, and yeah, Gold Drive is a clone, and it's modelled off of a really good clone, like one of the original 5 or something ridiculous like that. The tube screamer on there is one of the original, you know, black label unnumbered TS-808s, and Vox have a really, they call it Korg. It's Korg Toneworks, and they have the most incredible storage facility full of amazing vintage and authentic effects, and they modelled really good gear. And I've done a demo Tube Screamer Roundup. If you actually listen to the one on the Vox, you'll hear that it's not really distinguishable from the one modelled on the Line 6. Any of my clones, it's there, Mr. White. It's a question of how you use it, mate. And it's get it into that. If you go into I think it's UK rock settings, and I think it's one of them. You're and it's because it's green, yellow, and red, isn't it? Something like that. And I think it might be the red one of UK rock, or it might be the yellow one. I can't, or the green one. It might be the green one actually. And you put the gain about 12 or 1 o'clock or something like that, and so you've just got a bit of an edge of breakup. And then you introduce that tube drive. All right. Now they've actually modelled signal loss in it, which is odd, but it's fucking very authentic. But it's a case of where you'd place it. You have to use it in the same way that you use a real one for it to actually sound like it should sound, if that makes sense. But no, it is Mr. White. That's a good way to get the flavour. And Mr. White, you're very much on the radar for one of these Behringer Tube Screamers if you want one. It's I want to give some away. It's hard to. I mean, look, I haven't got kids and fucking things. I haven't got mortgage or car payments, right? I'm not well off, but also I don't have overheads, mate. I have to pay a certain hotel bill, but it's fucking. I pay the council, they pay the majority of it, and I do a top up, I top up the payments. So they pay the majority of it, and I pay a little bit on top. It's about 30 quid a week or something like that. So it's nothing. Come on, right? I shouldn't get into those sorts of things here, but there we go. Protect me, you people getting free Tube Screamers. Protect me from the bastards. Let's have the goodwill flow. But yeah, anyway, it's not a question of how much money you earn, right? It's how much money you're obliged to spend, and a lot of you are obliged. You've got fucking much more serious rents to pay. Utility bills and credit card debt and student debt, fuck knows, alimony and child support, all those things that I do not have over my head. And zip, don't fucking be shy of asking questions, mate. Nothing makes me happier doing YouTube than somebody asking me a specific question that I can answer. So that's why I'm here, mate. That's why I do this. The gear talk, anyway, not the making music bit. Vanilla latte. Frothy. Look how frothy that is. Look at this mug. How cool is that mug? Huh? Is that a fucking cool mug? How cool is that? So it's I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here, and it's given me a lot, this channel. A lot of days that I'd just be spent on my own, tunnel vision, playing, and the actual fact is, I've ended up doing something that 100 people might have watched, and 10 people might have commented on, and 2 people might have really got something meaningful out of it. So I'm still involved with the circus, right? 25 minutes and we've done nothing. All right, well, I got a friend out of storage. I couldn't live without it. I needed it. I'm getting another guitar off of Malco, and it's an Axel, and it's sort of telly. I just needed this back, my Axel telly. Oh yeah, these sorts of knobs, right? So there's these black knurled knobs, but they've got a little red bit of glass or a jewel in it, and it's they're the ones I'm going to get for the Jazz Master. Anyway. Yeah, man, good to have it back. I love this fucking guitar. Really solid. If I had my eyes closed and you got my old... I had a really nice Japanese Fender telly that was exactly the same as that in so many regards. Now, to me, they feel exactly the same. And, like, my other tellies don't feel anything like it. And most importantly of all, I bought a damaged in the shop. It had fallen off the thing and it had been checked out by a local luthier, and there like I got a really cheap like USA Keith Sutton, if you're watching. Do you remember my pair of Telecasters I used to use for gigs with the Join and Grifter and Space Baby? And I had the red one, and that was the Japanese one. I think it was late 90s or mid 90s Japanese one, and I had the USA one, which was like Lake Placid blue, and the fucking Japanese one walked all over it, and yet the American one was string through and all that. It was just a much better guitar. Now it had a big, I got it really cheap because like it had a big chunk right off the front. It was immaculate apart from a chunk right in the most obvious place had taken the paint off, and it was some accident in the shop, and it'd been made sure like it was structurally sound, but they just knocked so much money off of it. And I was kind of looking for like maybe the right good Squire or another Japanese or something, and a stage second telly, and like, oh fucking hell, I'll get that. I bought it, I barely tried it, and it was really nice, but it wasn't as good as the Japanese one. And the Japanese one was a top loader, and that's where I lost my prejudice of some guitarists prefer the top loader. There's a few videos on YouTube if you want to look them up, like why I prefer a top loading bridge on a telly to string through. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I agree with it to a degree. The thing is, if I was getting one tomorrow, if I was specifying one, it'd have to be a string through. But the tellies that I've preferred the best have been top loaders. That's the top loader. Anyway, this feels just like that, and I love it. This is my regular traditional telly, even though it's got a set of EMG pickups, and yet actually, the Axel, like EMG do like these cheapo pickups for Axel. They do them for a lot of guitars, but they've done them for like many makers, and they're just I think they're the same as Bellcat or whatever. Like they're just a very similar thing, but they are out of the empty house. It's not some like copyright infringement. That would limit like what countries you could get them in and stuff like that, because you have to buy licenses for copyright in different countries. So a lot of Chinese stuff, like it can only be sold in certain countries. Then it can't. Then somebody gets hold of it, and it's like basically you can put like I don't know, say full tone OCD on a £2 effects pedal in China and sell it in China. You can't do that anywhere else, because like Full Tone have like made sure they own like fucking like OCD and the Full Tone name and all that. They've paid for that. But like there's a lot of things you can get away with in certain places you can't get in others. So but for the world market, but you're not going to get that nowadays. Like someone sort of saying, "Oh, EMG, like if they copy, no, they are EMGs. They're not like EMGs like fucking, like the Geezer Butler set or anything. But they're just a set of cheap pickups, but and like EMG name on it. But I like them, and they have some of the characteristics of like EMG, which they're good clean. Anyway, that'll do us for the day, won't it? That's enough. So yeah, nice to see this old friend again. You know, it's like a real cool thing when I got this. This was the second guitar that I bought in the New Forest, and it came with a black scratch plate. And yeah, I bought the Silver Burst Les Paul, which I'm really looking forward to getting back. And this, and I just needed to play it again because I've been playing the pink one to absolute death. You know, I love the fucking deluxe. And I'm about to get another Axel. Like I'm gonna have the money. I'm gonna wire up the money in the next day or two. So I think it should be coming like 2 days time, 3 days time. So that won't be long now. So that'll be cool when I do that. But yeah, like check out Mad Malco, check out Music Is Fun, check out Grumpy Mike, check out JHS Pedals, have a look at Rhett Shull, even though I can't stand his guts, and check out like as much guitar YouTube as you like. But yeah, if you want a tube screamer and like, you know, you genuinely can't, like, you know, you're a bit skint and it's hard to get this shit together, stick a comment down below and you know, we'll see what we can do. Can't promise anything, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, fucking love you dudes.